Chip Hazard here, Movement Radio, still at Fanboy Expo, Anime Toys and Gaming, and I'm here with the legendary Rob Paulsen. Rob, how are you today?
I am breathing, Chip. I'm not in jail, but the day's not over yet. So far, so good. And thank you for your very auspicious introduction. I'm good at my job. Legend is a very kind word, but man, I don't draw them and I don't write them. So it's a deeply collaborative effort. But thank you very much for your kind words.
You're more than welcome. And before I get into any of the questions, I just want to wish you a happy early birthday.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Obviously, turtles live a long time. I now look, instead of a human male, I look like a cross between a chia pet and a Q-tip. So thank you very much. As long as I'm getting older, I reckon it beats the alternative. So good.
Well, and you still have more hair than I do, so.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I appreciate that.
So, first question. How do you keep all of the voices that are just roaming around in your head? How do you keep them separate?
Very specific and expensive medication. No, man, it's like, I'm going to be, tomorrow, I'm going to be 68, which means I've been in Hollywood for, oh my God, 45, 46 years? Yeah, I moved there in 1978. Oh. It's 46 years. Wow. And when you're fortunate enough to have worked on stuff that I have, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, Turtles twice, Jimmy Neutron, The Tick, The Mask, Goof Troop, Darkwing Duck, a lot of those characters have become part of the cultural zeitgeist, and not just in our country. So when you're lucky enough to work on something like some of those characters, they just become stamped on your brain.
Or your pinky, as the case may be.
Narf.
You see, that's called a professional segue, my dear.
And so it really is not a problem calling them up. But also I've been fortunate to do a lot of conventions in the last 12 years, 15 years. And I'm telling you what, the coolest thing, you guys, about the work that I do is finding out the extent to which these characters connect with people's souls. I mean, it's bigger than my paycheck. It's bigger than ratings. It's bigger than merchandise. I get to see literally all over the world how people tell me the most ridiculously heartwarming stories about how Mr. Paulsen, I was in the foster home system from the time I was 6 months old till I was 18. I had to go to 5 different homes. But as long as there were television, Ninja Turtles was my sort of de facto family. Are you kidding me? I honestly, Chip. So that is a roundabout way of answering your very simple question, that because people want to hear from Yakko or Pinky or Donatello or Carl or Raphael, those voices are always right here. And look what happens to you. Isn't that the coolest thing? Watch this, you guys. Yeah. Narf! Isn't that cool? You can't help it. It's the coolest thing.
No, I can't help it.
Thank you. And look, your face is turning the same color as my name. It's all pink.
That's right.
Makes me so happy.
So I know that all of the voices hold a very special spot in your heart. One has to outweigh the other as your personal favorite. Yeah. What's that one?
Well, you're correct. It is akin to asking about your favorite child. However, I really, if Ninja Turtles changed my career trajectory, because anytime you're involved in something that becomes a hit in Los Angeles, you don't become any more talented. You just happen to be involved in something that's a hit. So you get more opportunities to work. But Ninja Turtles certainly changed my career trajectory in LA, but Animaniacs changed my life. Because it's Steven Spielberg, great music. Yakko sings almost in every half hour. I got to sing United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Haiti, Jamaica, Peru. And then Pinky and the Brain was spun off on its own show. And working with Maurice LaMarche, who is a world-class comedian. And that duo is arguably, well, you would know better than I, because when I'm dead, you might be able to talk to me, but I don't think it'd be hyperbole to suggest that Pinky and the Brain are among the most successful comedy duos of certainly my lifetime. They're well known. People may not know who Mo and I are, but they know Pinky and the Brain, and they should. It's very smart. So Animaniacs writ large is probably something I could do the rest of my life.
That's awesome. So last question. I know you got a lot to do
Sorry,
and
my
everything.
parole officer's out in the car, he's waiting.
What's next for you?
Speaking of my parole officer, prison. No, well, I'm actually working on a really fun new show for Hulu from DreamWorks called Fright Crew, and it's a vampire action adventure cartoon. It's pretty cool. So if you guys check out Fright Crew, Krewe, on Hulu, it's really cool. I play a werewolf, and it's also got a bit of a comedy vibe. It takes place in New Orleans. So check out Fright Crew on Hulu. And then, I do a lot of conventions. For those of you who are interested, you can follow me on my website, which is robpaulsenvoice.com. TikTok is robpaulsen311. That's my birthday, as you mentioned, tomorrow on TikTok. Rob_Paulsen on Instagram, and Rob Paulsen Voice Actor on Facebook. Also, my partner, Randy Rogel, who wrote most of the music you know from Animaniacs, like Yakko's World and the States and the Presidents and It's a Great Big Universe and We're All Really Puny, We're Just Tiny Little Specks About the Size of Mickey Rooney, wrote all that stuff, and we take Animaniacs in concert around the country. And we do it with orchestras all over the place. So you can go to animaniacsinconcert.com and check out our concert dates. And so I've got a lot going on. And may I say, what you guys do in going to conventions and highlighting all this stuff, the cosplay, I've been around a long time. We have never, in the history of humanity, been more connected via social media. You can interview a guy who's an animator in Iceland and be on the same call with a writer in Caracas, Venezuela. I mean, it's incredible, yes. Right? So if we're that connected, I think we kind of owe it to each other to do our best to help each other out, I mean, if we can't do that, what's the hell's the point? These conventions, which are so ubiquitous, man, they spring up like zits on a 12-year-old. And you guys cover them. I get to go to these conventions all over the world. And the thing that is the most wonderful aspect of this whole experience is the utter inclusivity. You will see people here who are very socially awkward, people on the autism spectrum, people who might have trouble buying a Slurpee on their own, people who might get looked at sideways outside of here. You know what I mean? People who dress up any way they want, despite how they look, how big, how thin, how whatever. Color, doesn't matter. Sexual orientation, everybody here is accepted. I love that. It is no different than being a talking turtle or a talking whatever Yakko is, or a crazy stupid lab mouse. If I do that in public, people go, what the hell's wrong with this guy? But I get paid well for that. And the reflection of all that this encompasses is a big deal, Chip. And the fact that you guys take time to highlight this and talk to people who otherwise might be disenfranchised, here they are utterly safe and utterly joyful. So it is a big deal that you do that. And I am so proud to be associated with anything like this. Because honest to God, if we're not able to help each other figure shit out, what's the point? So thank you very much for what you do. It's a big deal.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
You
Rob,
never knew I was Yakko. I haven't shut up.
Thank you.
Rob, thank you for being a part of my childhood.
Oh.
And I look forward to seeing you later this year in Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Try and stop me. My pleasure, buddy. And don't forget to finish your croissant. Look, your cameraman's, don't pee your pants. Moreover, don't pee my pants. That's really disturbing. Thanks a lot, man.